Hey there, folks. Foggy here. Welcome to day 281 of my Euro Solo board gaming. We are continuing to play with Ugly Gryphon Inn. We're playing with two expansions now. We got local dragons and more patrons. More patrons adds in three new patrons: the genie, the king, and the werewolf. And essentially, you now have to get an inn full of 8 people instead of 7. Plus, you still got the threat of dragons. And we're actually going to play with the elder side. So this is going to be really tough, and it might be really quick. It might be over in 5 minutes. Let's pick a dragon at random here. Gonna shuffle this up, just randomly move the cards around, and eventually pick Nostrillus the Red, who I think is what we had last time. Let's go ahead and put Nostrillus to the side. Let's just go with one of the others. Fury the Black. If Fury collects 2 or more fighting, he flies over the inn and burns it down. So we're gonna put that there. That means if we have 2 people who leave the inn who are has fighting, that's bad. So, and I'm not sure if that means that it has to be in the, to be honest, I actually don't know. Check their quirks. Yeah, okay, so it's in their quirk, not their irk. Something important to remember. Let's shuffle this. I don't think I've ever noticed that before, that the quirk and the irk thing rhymes. Shows how observant I am. So how y'all doing? Enjoying your weekend? Enjoying the start of your weekend? It's Friday. Technically today is my Wednesday. I work at a restaurant and our work week goes from Wednesday to Sunday, so this is my Wednesday. Just sharing a little bit while I shuffle here. Alright, so let's deal out 4 people. We've got the Fasting Monk, we've got the Drunk Dwarf, we've got the Clumsy Wizard, and we've got the Goblin Triplet, the Smelly one. And we'll go ahead and put that there. All right, let's see. Who is a good person to have at the bottom? The Clumsy Wizard, because the Clumsy Wizard always is just a good person to put at the bottom. However, I do feel like I kind of want to get the Goblin Triplet into the thing as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and get the Goblin Triplet out. That way we're a little bit less exposed to potentially having smell become an issue. But we'll move there, and there are not 3 goblins in the inn, so we're good there. Let's move this down as far as possible. That's where the bottom's going to be. We'll put it all the way in the corner too. There we go. All right, so let's see. We next get the Sleepy Summoner. Do we have anything that's 3 or more? Nope. We just have noise. Let's go ahead and move the Clumsy Wizard to the top here. And because the Clumsy Wizard's thing is that they are now at the top of the inn, take the 3 patrons below, shuffle them, and place them back in order in random order. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. There we go. Goblin Triplet still staying. And we have 1 of each, so good. We're still good. All right, so the Drunken Dwarf is triggered by whether or not there are 4 more beer. And then the Fasting Monk is all about whether or not there is food above or below. So I think what I'd like to do, the Sleepy Summoner cannot stay there. Let's go ahead and move the Fasting Monk over now. There is not food directly above or below, so we're good there. The Wizard is no longer at the top, and there's only 1 Goblin Triplet. Let's draw another card, and now we have... Good. All right. The Rusty Ranger is triggered by beer being at the bar, so we need to get one of these beers out of here. But we don't want noise directly above the food directly above the Fasting Monk, so let's move the Rusty Ranger over. I think we're good there. Rusty Ranger is not triggered because there's only 2 beer at the bar. There is food neither directly above or below the Fasting Monk. The Clumsy Wizard is not at the top, and there's only 1 Goblin Triplet. We draw the Stressed Satyr. And he is food, so I think this is probably a good one to get. The Clumsy Giant, or there's a giant that is triggered by 3 in a row, and right now we got 3 in a row. We also can't move the Drunken Dwarf over because they will just basically... he will have to leave because he'll be the 4th beer. We could put the Sensitive Hunter. That's certainly doable. We could also put the Sleepy Summoner. There's no noise over here now. But that will automatically trigger the Rusty Ranger. No, the Rusty Ranger is fine. I think we want to. I think strategy-wise, I want to get one of these two over there, and it would have to be the Sensitive Hunter. But part of me also feels like this is my opportunity to get the Sleepy Summoner over there. So I'm going to risk it. We're going to move the Sleepy Summoner over here. There is no noise directly above or below. There is not 3 or more beer at the inn. The Fasting Monk does not have food above or below. The Wizard is not at the top. There's only 1 Goblin Triplet. All right, and noise is triggered. Yay. Oh, man. Okay, so the Sleepy Summoner is the first to leave. She leaves. She is not triggered. She does not have fighting as a quirk. However, she does cause a new person to appear at the bottom of the inn. So that's going to go down here. That is really crooked. It's a very crooked, tilty inn. And that's the Time Mage. Fortunately, I don't think we'll get triggered. All right, so the Sleepy Summoner left. Let's see, continuing down, the Rusty Ranger leaves because of the noise. And attempts to... His trick shot irked the patron 2 rooms below, so that's going to be the Clumsy Wizard. The Clumsy Wizard is irked. One thing I'm not too sure of is whether or not... Yeah, I don't think the Clumsy... Actually, I don't think the Rusty Ranger leaves either, because it doesn't say leave. So it's irked the person to... So he's irking the Clumsy Wizard. The Clumsy Wizard is now irked. These two get shuffled. I need to do a better job of reading the cards. I wonder how many times I've made that roll mistake before. All right, they're now shuffled. If there is an equal amount of food and beer at the inn, there is not. There's in fact 4 beer, 1 food. And this one is triggering the Goblin Triplet because of the noise. All the goblins in the inn leave, so he'll leave. So that's 2 that's left so far, and we're back down to 4 people in our inn, and it's all beer. All right, so we might as well move this. Let's move the Goblin Triplet over to the inn, since we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then, Goblin Triplet, there aren't 3. There's still not 3 beer at the inn. There's no food above or below. Wizard is not at the top, and the Time Mage, there is not more food than beer. Okay. I'm just going to quickly read through something just to make sure that I'm correct here. All right, just rereading the notes here a little bit. Warbear. So we're going to have to move one of these guys. If there's no food at the inn, there is 1 food at the inn. All right, we can move this person to the top. Let's go ahead and move the Sensitive Hunter, actually. No, we want to move the Warbear. We want to move the Warbear because we have 2, otherwise we'd have 2 fighting, and that would just run a risk. So there is not more food. There is food at in the inn, so we're good there. Goblin Triplet, there's not 3 triplets. If there's 3 or more beer at the inn, at the bar, I mean, there's no food directly above or below. Wizard, good, and that's good too. Bunny Prince. So if we move the Bunny Prince over here, then everyone irked by noise will leave. So that'll be 2 more people leaving. We don't trigger their effects, but they do leave. So we don't want to move the Bunny Prince over there. We do, I think, want to move the Sensitive Hunter out. And this will keep us pretty good here. So the Sensitive Hunter, there's not more food than beer. Currently there is 1 food and 6 beer, so we're not even close. But the Warbear, there is that 1 food that's still keeping the Warbear there. Goblin Triplet's good. Rusty Ranger is good. The Fasting Monk is good. Clumsy Wizard and Time Mage are good. And we're currently at 7, and we need 8. We don't trigger anything. That's good. The clumsy giant, if moved to the top, he will trigger. Bunny Prince will trigger. Drunken Dwarf will trigger. Stress Satyr, I think, is my best option here. So we're going to move the Stress Satyr up here. Let's see. There is definitely beer at the inn. There is not more food than beer at the inn, but there is some food at the inn. We only have 1 goblin triplet. There are not 3 beer at the bar. The fasting monk does not have food above or below. The clumsy wizard is not at the top, and the time mage is not triggered. And we have 2 fighting, 1. Holy cow! That was incredibly smooth. Does that seem right to anybody? Like, does that seem... Yeah, I'm just rereading this carefully. One thing I was kind of curious about, and I just wanted to read it at the end. Between the in phase and the bar phase, you don't, before you start checking the quirks and the irks and all those things, you don't replace the bar person. So the biggest question I had was whether or not the Rusty Ranger, you had to actually draw somebody first before the Rusty Ranger was triggered. But yeah, that is about as smooth as we can get. The dragon, when completely hungry, didn't get to eat anybody. Look at that. 2 noise, and that's it. So had we gone with Sleepy the Gray, Sleepy the Gray would have eaten the Goblin Triplet and the... Oh no, because it's Quirk. These are 2 noises. So if we had gone with Nostrilus the Red, we would have lost the game. So, but for the most part, we didn't even get to see the new people. Where were they hiding? So Krabby King. Krabby King cannot be in the bar at the end of the game, and if the king is at the top of the inn, they irk the person directly below. Weary Werewolf, if they are on an even number floor, the werewolf views the full moon, transforms, and leaves. On her way out, she eats a patron at the bar. That patron leaves too inside the werewolf, and has 1 of every irk. That's lovely. And then finally, Thirsty Genie. If neither the top nor the bottom of the inn have beer, the genie leaves and snaps her fingers on the way out. Shuffle all the remaining patrons at the inn and place them back in random order. Restart resolving irks at the top of the inn. That is just nasty. And she's got 1 of every quirk as well. So she's fighting, she makes noise, and she stinks. She's very smelly. A very smelly Thirsty Genie. Well, thank you folks for joining me here. This was, holy crap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Did it. I'm just gonna bask in this victory. This is kind of like when I won Lost Expedition. You just gotta enjoy like the wins that you get, and when you win something and it feels smooth and you feel like you played well, you just gotta enjoy it, right? Now, somebody tell me in the comments what rule I got wrong, and that invalidates this win. And I'll be sure to retroactively consider myself a loser. Thank you all for joining me today. Please click like, click subscribe, click follow. Do the bell icon for notifications, all that YouTube stuff. Leave comments down below. If you actually watched this far, just post Hail the Krabby King in the comments. And that way I'll know you watched all the way through the video. And until tomorrow, I'll see you then.